What's going on, hikers? In today's video, I'm going to give you 5 backpacking hacks that's going to help you have a better time on trail. If you're new to the channel, my name's Jeremiah Stringer, and here we talk about all things hiking and backpacking. So if you're into that, consider subscribing. So my 5 hacks I've learned from the internet. I have learned through going with other friends, and I'm like, oh, that's super cool. Why didn't I think of that? And then I've also figured some stuff out on my own. So hopefully you have not heard of at least one of these and you learned something new today. Starting off our list at number 1 is using your headlamp and your bottle to make yourself a makeshift lantern. You're like, what are you talking about? So I use the Nightcore NU25 headlamp, but sometimes I'll be in my tent and I'll be like, man, I wish I had a softer light. Maybe I'm reading a book or a map, or maybe my wife's with me and she wants more like a night light to make her feel just a little bit more comfortable and like she's at home while we're on trail. So I pair together a bottle and a headlamp. So let me just show you. Let me show you what it looks like. My wife's Nalgene. Got it. Nightcore NU25. So you may have to tighten your strap up just a little bit, and you want to flip it inside out and put that on your bottle. Now this works especially well on an Nalgene bottle. You put your headlamp strap on top, and then you put your headlamp on the bottom of the bottle, and then you can turn it on. It may be hard to see because it's bright in here. You can see it's kind of lighting up there. This works especially well with a Nalgene and an opaque bottle. I haven't tried it on a smart water bottle, which is typically what I use. We a lot of times will take Nalgene bottles in the winter time. So a little bonus hack, you can fill this up with hot water and then put it in the bottom of your sleeping bag to help keep your feet warm. And just like that, you now have yourself a makeshift lantern that gives you a softer light, and if you want to leave it on all night, you can. Make your wife or husband feel safe too. Number 2 on our list is for Stinky Feet. My wife complains, I come home, my hiking shoes smell terrible. And I'm sure some of you can relate. So to help kill that odor, one thing I found you can do is to take your inserts and put them in your freezer. Yes, your freezer. Now I let mine dry out so my inserts are completely dry. And the idea is what's making those stink is bacteria. And that bacteria, you can kill it by freezing it. The lower temperature will help kill the bacteria. So if you have stinky feet like me, take your inserts, dry them completely out, put them in a gallon Ziploc bag, stick them in your freezer overnight. Leave them in there and get them back out, good as new. Number 3 on our list, you're going to need a freezer Ziploc bag. And you want to use a freezer one because they're a little bit thicker and they'll hold up to this hot water. So here's the idea. You are cooking something on trail, right? Maybe it's oatmeal, maybe it's mashed potatoes. Whatever it is that you just add hot water to and let it rehydrate. Well, if you heat that water up, put your food in a freezer Ziploc bag, pour the hot water in it, and then stick that inside your cooking pot. And it's going to look something like this. Insert the bag, and a lot of times if the bag is a little bit too small, you can break the corners here, and then there'll be enough room. Now I have created a liner for my cooking pot, and there's no dishes to clean up. Once I'm done, I just pull the Ziploc bag off, and then I throw that in my trash bag. Number 4, sometimes we poop. Sometimes we poop in the woods. When you're pooping in the woods, you're supposed to dig a cat hole. Now to make this process a little bit more quick, one thing you can do is pick a rock, and a rock that's preferably partially stuck in the ground. Take that rock, flip it over. Okay? I know this isn't necessarily leave no trace, but you're digging a hole for your poop. So that rock that's partially covered, little rock, it's going to help dig your hole a little bit faster, a little bit. Poop. Number 5 is about fuel canisters. The ones that look like this. It took me a while to figure this out. I'm going to be honest. I feel a little silly now. But if you're like me, you didn't know this. The fuel canisters have markings on them They look like this. See them? Can you see the markings? Full, half, and pretty much empty, baby. What those are, they're float marks. So you put this thing in water and you float it. You can do this on the trail or at home, and it's going to tell you how much fuel you have left inside your little canister. Now, if you're through hiking, I always try to carry 2 of those. So if one ran out, I knew I needed to buy another one at my resupply. And if you're just going on the weekend, you probably only need 1, because you can get quite a few boils, depending on your stove, out of one of these little canisters. Folks, please comment below and tell me, what hacks should I have included? I want to know, how can you help me make my life easier on trail? If you do that, I'll be eternally grateful. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, kick that notification bell for the latest notifications, and we'll see you in the next video. Sometimes we poop in the woods. Poop.